Big Butterfly Count is a citizen science project, which I've been carrying out for a number of years down at one of our sites at Green Park. It's a really good, accessible project to get involved with. You don't need any prior experience, or you don't need to know all your different butterflies and everything like that. It was launched in 2010, and it's one of the biggest surveys of butterflies that's carried out, not only in the UK, but in the world. And there's some pretty impressive numbers attached to it. So 64,000 citizen science took part in 2022, with nearly 100,000 butterflies recorded across the UK. So by taking part in the Big Butterfly Count, you are part of something huge, something much larger, and something that really, really contributes towards monitoring butterflies in the UK. I'm a great fan of it. It takes 20 minutes. So yes, definitely get involved. So butterflies are a vital part of our ecosystems. They act as pollinators, they're a food source for many animals, and they're under horrific threat. In fact, butterflies are the creature that I use when I talk about climate change. So I say 1 to 2 degrees of climate change isn't bad for humans. We get a couple of hot days and that's great. But when you're as small and as fragile as a butterfly and you haven't got that much surface area to regulate your body temperature, 1 to 2 degrees has monumental effect on populations. So they are rapidly declining, and they have been since the 1970s. Butterflies, because they form such an important part of the food chain, declining butterflies is also an indication that other species could be declining as well, because everything has a knock-on effect. So for this reason, we tend to call them a biodiversity indicator. They are incredibly rapid to react to change. They'll move away, they'll find other places. And one of the great things about the Big Butterfly Count is that scientists are working out that spread northwards of butterflies, which is happening with climate change to a lot of different species. So knowing where these butterflies are at what time of the year and where their geographical range is particularly crucial to their conservation. Okay, so at the risk of being accused of being billericay-centric, here's a little map from the Big Butterfly Counts website. And you can see just how many butterfly counts, all these green dots which are scattered all over the screen, which have been done last year, just in kind of this local area. And you can see that 12 counts were done by 6 different people, and that 99 different butterflies were spotted. And they have a few bits of breakdown of the different species that were spotted. So all of the information that you collect as part of the Big Butterfly Count all goes into a central website, which is accessible to anyone, and you can have a look and see how you're doing and what's collected. So, like I said, it's very, very easy to take part. You need 15 to 20 minutes during bright sunny weather, during a set specific time, which is now. The Big Butterfly Count opens on Monday, and it's going to be open for 2 weeks. You can record absolutely anywhere. So in a local park, along a grass verge, just any green space where you think you might get something, you can stand and do the recording. Now, when you do the recording of your butterflies, you need to count them from a fixed position. So try not to walk around the park as you're doing it. Stand in absolutely one place and record the maximum number of a single species that you see at any one time. Now, you'll notice that I've put on a couple of pictures of different species of butterfly, and I haven't told you what they're called, and I haven't told you how to identify them, because you just need to be able to match a picture up. And it's brilliant for kids to do, because they are really good. They're really good at spotting small things and seeing all the different colours. And there's like, oh, I spotted a big red one, or oh, there's an orange one over there. And that's all you need. That's all the skill level that you need to be able to do it. It's just you just need to be careful that you're not counting the same butterfly twice, because obviously they're going to float around from flower to flower. So just make sure that you count the maximum number of species that you see, but not the same one more than one or two times. So you've made the decision, you've decided that you're going to go out and count your butterflies, and you've got 15 minutes to spare on your lunch break. So there's a number of ways that you can record the information. As always, with everything this year, there's an app for that. So you can download an app, it's absolutely free, and you just register using your email address, and then you can record everything on the app. You can also record it on paper and submit it via a website. And that blue website along the top is where you need to go to find all your information to submit all of your records. Now, it's critical that even if you don't see anything whilst you do your big butterfly count, that you still record it as a blank survey. Not having any data from a specific time frame is just as important for scientists as having data. So if you go out and you search for butterflies and you don't find any of the key species that they're targeting, that's absolutely fine, and it's still very valid and still very, very important. So if you're not an app user, or you want to do it with kids and you prefer to use it with paper, there's a nice PDF document which you can download, which I'll make sure I put in the chat once I finish rambling on about butterflies. And it looks like this. So you've got all of your pictures all spread over, and all you have to do is match the butterfly you see to the picture. And I just put a little mark by which one I've seen and then total them all up at the end. They're currently looking for these key species because these are the ones that are declining more than others. So it's actually a two-sided document. So that's the first page. That's the second page. And as you can see on the second page, there's a nice QR code there as well, so that you can submit directly. And like I say, just stand and record them, see how many you can see. Now, I wouldn't be a proper ecologist if right at the end of my presentation I didn't give you some helpful hints on how you can help butterflies in your garden, because it's all well and good counting them, but if you do get that null result, it might be good for you to do a few bits and pieces just to help. So very, very quickly, you can make space of every single inch of space that you've got. So containers on your garden, on a balcony, pots in front of your house, on top of your shed roof, absolutely anything. But the key thing is to plant a variety of species that flower throughout the whole year and that are good pollinators. So anything that you're already doing from bees for previous presentations is pretty much going to be great for butterflies and moths. I'm not going to go through all of those suggestions. There's quite a few on there. I'll make sure a copy of the presentation is available and you can have a look. So very, very quickly, how does that work in practice? I love this picture. I got this picture from the Wildlife Trust, and I appreciate that not everyone has a space like this, but I think if you can pick one or two things, all of these examples and everything that's there is going to be helping butterflies. So you've got your mini meadows and your bug hotels, climbing plants, you know, different types of habitats, so herb gardens and bog gardens, everything like that's going to be really awesome. And, you know, I have to throw these things in, even though I'm talking about counting them. Yeah, so that was a quick whiz through because the survey itself only takes 15 minutes. And I thought, I can't really do a presentation on how to do it for longer than you're going to need to be doing it out there. So, yes, I'm really, really hoping that everyone's going to get involved. We are really keen for ground control staff to do this and to submit when they've done it in every single region. I think it's a really, really great thing to do with your clients because it doesn't actually cost them anything. They can say they're doing something for biodiversity and it's part of a massive project. So if you are going to go out with any of your clients or you are going to do it locally, please, please let me know, because we want to try and count the numbers of people who are involved and improve on this year on year. So hopefully by 2-3 years time, we'll have all ground control staff involved doing it across our portfolio of business, and we'll be able to make a real difference to funding and conservation efforts for butterflies. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing now so you can see my face.
Thank you, Alison. That was really interesting. I have a 6-year-old who is obsessed with bugs, and this is something that I could do over the week with him for sure. He would love it. I don't know about standing still for 15 minutes, but we'll do something with him for sure.
Well, the good thing is that you can stand still and do the recording and let them run around
yes,
to do all the
just
spotting.
crazy. Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
It works just as well with like the 12 guys I've got down at Green Park who love putting down their mowers and everything for the afternoon and coming and standing still. And even though you kind of, I don't know, it's not something I think that you can typically get a bunch of guys interested in, like counting butterflies. It's a bit kind of kid-like. They all come back. They all come back with the sheets and they go, I saw this one and I saw that one and then I saw this one that wasn't even on the sheet. And it really gets people talking. And like I say, it's free, so it's great to do with clients because they love a free thing.
So we'll open up to questions. I can see Justine's got her hand up. So Justine, over to you.
Thanks, Mark. Alison, you just touched on it. What do we do if there is a butterfly that isn't on the sheet? How do we record it?
Okay, so the big butterfly count in particular is looking for certain key species, but on their website you can record anything else that you've seen as well. So I have my handy book. This is my book that I've got, which is, I picked this up for £3.50 in like one of the cheap shops. I think it was like QD's or something like that. And that just gives you an indication of kind of all the other species that are in the UK. So if you see something and it's not on the sheet and you can't identify it, make some little notes about what it was, like kind of blue with spots or dark underneath. Have a go at IDing it, and then you can submit the data just as much. It's just because those key species are the ones that they're looking at this year, and it changes every year. So they're really getting a really good picture of what's going on with butterflies overall.
Excellent. Sophie in the chat is saying, do we need to do it every day over the 2 weeks?
Just pick once. So you can do it as many times as you like over the 2 weeks, but just once per location. So you might want to pick your back garden one day and then a park the next day, and then kind of, everywhere else, just wherever you are, wherever you're at. Like I say, I usually get people to do it on their lunch break because it's 15 minutes and you can go sit in the park and eat a sandwich and record your butterflies. Job done.
Good stuff. Are there any other questions? I can see folks being very positive in the chat. Any other questions from anyone before we wrap up? Oh, Justine again. There you go, Justine.
Sorry, Mark. It was just to say, for this one, we can do a double whammy. So obviously, if everyone goes out in their lunch hour and does it, it's part of your volunteering. So make sure that you email into WeCare just to log the fact that you've done your volunteering as well. So if everybody across the business did it and it's 15 minutes each, I can't tell you what that adds up to, but it's a lot. So let's try and record that as volunteering hours as well. And it's a fantastic cause, obviously.
Yeah, so like I say, I've got the PDF recording sheet and I can either pop it in the chat or I can make it available wherever you guys make it available. I can send it out if not, however we do it. But yes, I would. It's a great thing to do. It makes you feel like you've really contributed towards something massive by doing something so small. And clients love it because it's free. I'm going to keep banging on about that because it's the best thing you can offer them. And just go out and have fun.